Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Blank Canvas Show. Bonus episode this week. It always seems like every single time I drop an episode on these Tuesdays, in the last month or so, Kendrick, Drake, people just want to drop shots and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, today I'm not letting it pass by. We got to talk about it right away. Fresh off of listening to it a couple hours ago, man. All the think pieces are already out. I wanted to get a large panel, but then at the last minute, I decided to pick one person, man. One person that's consistent in all the talks on X, or formerly known as Twitter. If you're on the Twitter space, Black Twitter space, for the old folks listening, man, you know him, man. He has a lot of wise tweets. Some tweets I agree with, some I don't. But hey, man, such is life, right? Welcome to the Blank Canvas Show for the first time. Tony from TonyDaDome, man. What's going on, man?
Man, everything is good, brother. Thanks for having me, man. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
It's been crazy few hours, but we'll get into that.
For sure, man. Definitely, it's dope linking up with, one of the minds that are fair-minded. I may not agree with everything you do or interact with everything you do, because I be busy too. But, man, you kill a few others, man. Y'all stand on what y'all stand on. So one of the few folks on there that's level-headed that I respect, that I've been following for quite a few years now, since I kind of came back on Twitter, man. So shout out to you, man. But yeah, let the people know a little bit about who you are and kind of what you got going on before we get into why we're here, which is the Kendrick Lamar response, EUPHORIA. So that's all this podcast is about right now for all y'all. So y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, comment. The timestamps will be in the comments if you want to hear something particularly where we going. We have no direction. We just going off of pure what we've heard over the last couple hours and being able to link up at this time. So, Tony, the floor is yours, man.
Now, for most people that know me, I've been on X or Twitter for probably 10 years, you know what I'm saying, sharing my perspective on music. I love music, and I like to say I'm not a hip-hop platform, a music platform, because if you follow my tweets or go into TonyDaDome.com, where I have articles from years ago up to now, you'll see articles on Phil Collins and, Tina Turner and Stevie Wonder, etc. Same way you'll see my flowers post on Twitter, because I like to show love, you know what I'm saying? Because enough people criticizing musicians. I want to show love, and that's what I do. Motown acts, Marvin Gaye, you know what I'm saying? Not just Nas and Biggie and etc. I love music, you know what I'm saying? So you might see me talk about Hall & Oates on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, the Dome podcast on YouTube, again, IntoTheDome.com, IG, whatever. But I'm mostly on Twitter/X most of the time when I have free time, just building and politicking, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is, bro.
For sure, man. So, let's get right into why we here, man. EUPHORIA dropped early this morning. We started getting the text. Everybody's getting the text. Where's the link? I caught it from, I believe, Kendrick's manager. I caught that link there, Musa. From there, I went right on into it, dived into it, man. Been on phone calls with everybody, man. Drake versus Kendrick, the matchup we finally won. Everybody else is out the way. The matchup that we finally want is underway. So, Tony, we can go from the beat switches. We could break it down to content, wherever you want to start. I'm down to go, man. So I'll allow you to have the floor in regards to just kind of your thoughts about the track in general.
Okay, so one of my young homies hit me today and shot me the link. I didn't even know what was going on. I work remote today. So I'm working, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden a little ding on my phone. I hit that and I'm like, what is this? And I hadn't been on Twitter yet, so I didn't know nothing about this song. I hit the joint, played it through, went outside, checked my mail. I said, let me think on this. I came back in, played it again. Then I said, you know what? This is what I was saying to some people weeks ago. I said, Kendrick Lamar is one of those guys who he thinks like a battle rapper. See, most people look at Kendrick as this conscious guy, To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City. No, go back to the old tracks when he was K-Dot from Compton. He always had that corrupt, that kind of, that West Coast, I'll battle you type of personality. You know what I'm saying? This goes back when Kendrick was doing them joints like Vanity Slave 1 and 2 and all of this stuff like that. He even had his own version of Last Real Nigga Alive, or that Nas did on Godson. So Kendrick was always tinkering on some battle shit. You heard him on the BET Cypher, basically letting everybody know anybody can get it. You heard the Control verse when he called out everyone. You know what I'm saying? You heard the joint when he was on the joint Pusha T that time. So he's always throwing little joints like here and there, letting you know he don't mind that smoke. I told cats on several podcasts over the last few weeks, Kendrick don't mind the smoke. Give him time. He's gonna drop something. And everybody like, nah, he ain't drop. You know,
I was a little worried for a while. I was in that crowd. I was a little worried too. For a while, I was a little worried.
I was never worried, fam. And this is why. Way back in 2001, I remember my homies hit me after Takeover came out. And everybody like, oh man, Nas done, my nigga. Nas done. I said, dog, just be easy, relax. Ice Cube didn't come back at NWA till like a year after they dissed him and he dropped the No Vaseline on death certificates. I'm like, be easy. Nas dropped Ether several months later. You know what I'm saying? So Kendrick, he drops this joint. The beat switches a couple of times, which Kendrick is known to do that. My man Knife did Duckworth. It switches a couple of times. And Kendrick has done that on Good Kid, Mad City a few times. So
and he does it effortlessly all the time. So yeah, he's a master at that.
And man, and the energy change, you know, he started the joint off. It was melodic. It was kind of like, but doing what Drake would do.
He opened it up so comfortable. To open it up to something that's so not comfortable. That don't grab you off the top, you know, oh, this is a slow bill. I'm a slow cook this.
It was a slow bill. Nah, fam, you're 100% correct. He was mellow with it, almost singing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then on the beat switch the first time, for me, it was a peaceful aggression, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And then to the third beat, I'm gonna go ahead and bury this dude, but I'm still only giving you a few darts because I got more in the chamber. You know what I'm saying? And you know what, my G, I said to someone last week, I bet you Kendrick got 2 or 3 songs put away. He's a thinker. You know what I'm saying? He's a cerebral cat. Those type of cats don't have one song. He's not sitting on one song. He's waiting for Drake to respond, and then he'll respond back again, man. But as
Drake
far as
showed
the song,
it, and to that point, I think Drake has showed his hand that he's prepared. He said it pretty much in the records that, you know, this is a light jab. Even both the jab, push-ups, tailor-made. Yeah. He just mentioned that you knew he was taking jab, being very direct, but not this isn't the record. This isn't the record. And we all knew that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think, why would we think Kendrick wouldn't be thinking the same way, to where, okay, I'm going to come back with, these was a bunch of jabs. It was no knockout punch. I'll, spoil everything for everybody. It was no knockout punch, but this was very significant in part. Like, yes, we finally got the song for song. Nobody else is involved. No Rosses, nobody else. This is these guys. You know what I mean? So I like the more directness of what Kendrick did in that setup piece, you know?
Yeah, it was a true diss song. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you, he even said something about basically stealing the heritage. You know what I'm saying? Like, he said some things in that song. If you go back and really do the knowledge, take any kind of feelings, emotion, how you feel about Drake or Kendrick, and just really listen to the track for what it's worth. He said some things in there. J. Cole even called us straight. You know what I'm saying? In the song once or twice.
Right.
After he comes on and tries to apologize to the dude, Kendrick still threw some shots at him. You know what I'm saying? He still said the crown is heavy, baby.
Hey, Tony, I'm on record. I'm on record as saying he should do that. He should drive a nail in them. This is how it has to be. You know, sometimes you got to be nasty to win the war. You know what I mean? I don't think dragging Cole's name is wrong. We've never seen anybody apologize, so you should be chastised publicly for it, time and time again. That's just where I'm at with it. No question. He deserved the shot to be thrown at him. And I'm a J. Cole fan. I mean, I'm from North Carolina. I rock with J. Cole. You know, absolutely. J. Cole's a dope MC. I've also said over the last couple of months, hey, the last few years, J. Cole been dropping some of the dopest features, dopest verses. You know what I'm saying? I like the last project he just released the other week. You know what I'm saying? I rocked that on a little road trip with the wife a few weeks ago. I'm like, yeah, Cole's still spitting, and I can't wait for the fall off. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like the apology, but as an MC, he's made North Carolina proud, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I will keep it real in that regard. You know what I'm saying? But Kendrick, he likes to battle in his own little way. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that this is big for hip hop. It's good for hip hop. And one thing I tweeted today was,
You got the two biggest artists of this generation in hip hop in a battle right now, and the critiquing and think pieces are taken away from the fun. You know what I'm saying? Like
Man,
this ain't gotta be the
yeah.
bridge is over or no Vaseline or the bitch in you. Let these kids cook. You know what I'm saying? These young men
How
cook rather.
much
You know what I'm
and
saying? And
and
keep building.
and really my thought process behind that, to piggyback off that, is the so many the mid comments. It doesn't matter who drops, everything is mid. This is the mid generation. Like,
Everything.
y'all can't articulate yourselves a little bit more. Why is it mid? Did you not like this, or are you just trying to tweet this for engagement? You know what I'm saying? We ain't all got to like the same things, but just tell me, just dive a little deeper, tell me why. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't engage with those type of folks. We don't have to agree about this shit, we ain't. But at the same time, what's mid about it? Please explain yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because if you listen to it once or twice, you still didn't catch everything in it. I don't care how in depth you think you are as a listener. Some of that stuff is personal, and some of that stuff I'm reading after the fact that, people got wild allegations, like it dropped at 824. I don't know if you read that with the Kobe and the 8 and the 20, like all of it. I'm like, yo, come on, man. Y'all going too far. But there's other lines to where I'm catching later on in the process, you know what I mean? And I consider myself a ear. I hear a lot of things, you know what I mean? So I think just sometimes people get too far off on a tangent when it's mid, because I've literally seen the same person tweet everything was mid, and it's all the disses, and all of them haven't been mid, man.
You know what? I ignore those because I look at hip hop different. You know what I'm saying? So we're in a different era, a different timepiece. So I'm not comparing this to the bridge is over, no Vaseline, the bitch in you, real motherfucking G. What up? That was that era. Kendrick Lamar giving you to me, a creative song. You know what I'm saying? It was direct. I listened to it 5 times today because I wanted to make sure I caught as much as I could before you and I spoke, and before I speak to anyone else, I guess over the next couple of days or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to make sure I was pretty clear on what he was saying. And I thought he's had a lot of clever lines, man. And again, it was still, even at the end of the joint, you know what I'm saying? It was still showing that I got some more bullets in the chamber. Drake also is creative in terms of he's a good MC, and a lot of people diss Drake. When you're a global star like this, and his rise was the way it was, he's going to be critiqued really hard. You know what I'm saying? People gonna say maybe he got help on some songs or this, that, and third. But at the end of the day, whenever Drake really want to spit, dude can rap. You know what I'm saying? So do I expect him to come back with something? Yeah, he's gonna have to come back with something because his pride and ego will not allow him not to. Now, let me say this though, and I said this on I think the Rap Roundtable or with Kill Apartment 5B before. I said Drake answered every bell, whether you like him or not, or whether he lost or won. He threw shots at Common, a legend,
no smoke
on
yet. Yeah, I respect it.
No, he got a Pusha T, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm glad Pusha T had that story added on or whatever, because that Duppy freestyle was dope. You know what I'm saying? He got Meek nice with back to back. He got Meek. You know what I'm saying? He's battled people. He hasn't ran from anyone. I don't think he's running from Kendrick Lamar. I do think he will respond, but he better come with a dope response, because I really feel like Kendrick got something really strong waiting. I think this was that he was poking him right here, but I think he got something coming, man. Remember, I said that on this platform.
Go ahead.
He's coming.
Oh yeah, I think so. And then the other thing I want to say, there was critique, and I felt this in my heart, like the production, like I think overall the production in all of these diss records could have. I want a little bit more, just because I tend to listen to that, but I don't think it was bad. But that was a lot of the critique that I heard, coming out of it. It was like, yo, who's picking these beats for these guys? You know what I'm saying? And I've heard that from several people that have reached out to me. I personally I don't hear it. You know what I mean? I think it was a nice build to do what he does, and he got lyrical. Like the first one was like that. That was the party joint. That was the record where you got to hear it every single time you in the club, Drake. Same thing you did to me.
Yep.
But I think this, in my heart of hearts, I think this is the perfect way to respond when you got more. You know what I mean? Is to cater to what you're known for, which is being lyrical, regardless of how anybody, feels how lyrical he is, but he would be in that lyrical class. So I liked the beat switches, the tone switches. I liked it, man. What about you?
I mean, again, I think that if see Twitter. Sometimes I always say some people have the cool hip hop shit to say, right? I'm gonna say something, the angry mobs stuff. I'm gonna say what I think everybody want to hear for engagement. You know what I'm saying? So the cool thing to say is, oh man, the beats wasn't like that. He wasn't, his bars wasn't on point or die. No, Kendrick is an artist. So what he did was give you almost three different songs in one, three different tempos in one, three different vibes and energy in one. That's the artist he is. That's why you have a Section 80, a Good Kid, Mad City, a To Pimp a Butterfly, a Damn. You have a song like High Power or How Much a Dollar Costs, the Good Kid song or Sing About Me. The creativity that he does when he writes, he brought that into a diss. And so his diss song was kind of reminiscent of some of his epic songs on his albums, which was perfect to me because he's giving his fans what they want to hear, but also came at Drake on some disrespect on the low. You know what I'm saying? That some people who like the Bending Singer versus Jadakiss type stuff, he gave you a little bit of that. But I think that somebody tweeted to me about 5 minutes before I came on the show, bro, that, you know what I'm saying, if it ain't like hit him up, total disrespectful, or I banged your wife or I shot you, it's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? And that person said that's unfortunate. And I agreed with them and I retweeted like, yeah, why does everything have to be total antics and theatrics when somebody can be clever with a dope diss song? You know what I'm saying? Oh, they bars ain't hard enough. He wasn't disrespectful enough. What do you mean? Did you hear what he was saying about Drake? He said a lot of disrespectful stuff in a chill kind of way.
Right. And I think that they want the personals and they want all of that stuff to kind of. Those are the people I think that may want just the blood to spill or the very far left aspect this can go that we all seen. You know what I mean? From different beats, not only the one that's globally known with the East versus West, Biggie and Pac thing, but we always fear that it get into that side. But it almost seems like if people don't take it there, then you're like, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And I think really the thing is people didn't get anything from Drake or Kendrick rather in this song that they did not already know or angle that hasn't already been taken. You got the DMX angle where the hate, where he kind of went through the first a few things that DMX said that he later retracted on Breakfast Club. I get it. But then, also, Joe Budden went at the ab thing before, you know what I mean? And this is that nobody really heard outside of people like me and you probably that listen to him and people of that same ilk. So, I think that just because it was no new tea, so to speak, I think that's why it's being approached that way from people that say it's mid. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm like, I don't know. I think he dissected it and probably did it a little bit better than others. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it may be the same information, but just because it's the same information don't make it any less true or the way he tweaked it to make you look at him differently. You know what I mean? I think he was effective in that.
Yeah, man. And you know what? Not only that, he also, like I said, threw the shots at Cole. Obviously threw the shots at Drake, but he also threw shots at anybody affiliated with Drake in that third
Chubbs
part of the
caught
song.
one.
You know what I'm saying?
Chubbs caught a stray, his homie Chubbs.
He was still saying, and he was saying, I know y'all hate the West also. When he said that, it also made me feel like he's like, okay, I know these East Coast cats saying what they say. Y'all can get it too. That's why he said on Control, I'm the king of New York. He said that on purpose to get people attention. You know what I'm saying? So again, today, he said, I know y'all hating on the West, basically. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm sure a lot of people from the West could appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Andre saying the South got something to say. Kendrick is representing the West Coast, man. And I didn't think nothing was mid about the song. I thought it was a good setup for, I think, something even bigger. I said also that these guys could have ignored hip hop. They could have ignored the fans. They could have ignored the chatter on all these social media platforms. But no, this dude, Kendrick even said, man, I got a son, I got a family. I ain't just sitting around basically BSing around, but he still took the time to make a song and probably more than one song and give it to hip hop to be critiqued, to be talked about. He didn't have to do anything because people know Kendrick Lamar will drop a project and disappear for 2 or 3 years.
Pretty
You know what
much
I'm
like
saying?
he
out
did
here in the
until we heard him
streets.
on like that. You right about that.
He does that. He'll disappear, but this time he gave hip hop something again. And again, Drake is also a gracious challenger. He will respond. He will say stuff about people. He will do antics and stuff like that. So he's not necessarily random. But I'm gonna tell you, what I did like, when Kendrick said, like, man, I don't even really like hearing you say nigga. You know what I'm saying? That shit was funny to me, man.
Yeah, because to add to what Ross said and how Ross been going at him and being like childish as hell with the white boy shit, and now him talking about this, it's like, yo, they building on the I don't think this is like a colorism thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what think pieces are out there right now, but I'm pretty sure they're going to turn it into that after a while, after we get to dissecting all of these bars and people kind of have more time with it and kind of what Ross has been saying. You know what I mean? But I think it's more so of the from the ethnic standpoint of him stealing so many different sounds, and the boy's talented, so he sounds good on a lot of different things. But
yeah, absolutely.
People truly feel like he's a culture vulture. Whether you feel like that or not, that's not what I'm talking about today. But that's what a lot of people feel like that are anti Drake. You know what I'm saying? And then him buying Tupac's ring in an auction and wearing it, and like it's shit like that he does, you know what I'm saying, to try to be of the culture, but at the same time, people don't truly think he is of the culture. So Kendrick addressed that in the bar as well, man. So, that leads me to the next point, man. Let's get into like these bars and the things that were scathing or just kind of took you, like, oh shit, he talking to him. What's some of the bars or just parts of the song that you was rocking with?
Well, first things first, I really enjoyed the first part when he was damn the croon, singing almost. I just like what he was saying. It was a lot of little slick things he was saying about Drake. But the last part, man, the I don't like part, I really did like him doing that. You know what I'm saying? And just basically, I don't even like your existence almost. So that's the kind of way, macro way, like nothing in particular that stood out. It's the way he did it overall for me. You know what I'm saying? And he also said, I'm basically saying what the culture is saying about you. You know what I'm saying? So that's out to me. When Kendrick said something to the effect of, I'm basically saying how the culture feel about you. Because to me, that's a low blow that will make somebody like Drake sit back and be like, you know what? That hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what I do, how hip hop I'm trying to be, okay, I buy the Pac ring or I do the AI with Pac and Snoop. I do all these songs with great MCs over the years and stuff like that. And, I got this relationship with your boy down there in Texas. I can't remember his name right now.
Trade the Truth? Or
no, I Trade the Truth. What? The mogul guy. I'm catching a blank right now.
Jay Prince.
Jay Prince. You know what I'm saying? So Drake has done everything he could. I mean, when he came out with, you know what I'm saying, the mixtapes and all that, and he was on the Ninth Wonders documentary, The Wonder Years, and talked about how, basically him coming up, being in love with Little Brother, and you know what I'm saying, and Elzai and all these guys. He's tried to be hip hop, but then Kendrick turns around and say, basically, all the stuff I'm saying about you, you're not of the culture, and this is how the culture really feel about you. I'm just relaying that message to you again. Yeah. He basically said that in the song today. And that, for me, stood out more than anything else, because that's saying no matter what you do, you're never going to be accepted in this thing called, you're never going to be looked at in the culture the way me, the way KRS-One, Nas, all these people, you still, he basically called him a guest, Kash. He basically called him a guest in the culture.
Yeah, so it really was an attack. That's all it was, Tony. I think it was a character assassination plot from the very beginning. Like from the slow undressing to him casually walking into the track to really getting up tempo and getting on his ass. You know what I'm saying? So it's really culture to me, like versus industry type shit. They're both calling each other industry. So I really want to get into that. What they talking about their deals? We'll never know.
Real quick though. Also, when he basically said, I have a classic and you don't know nothing about that, basically. Like, you don't have no classic.
He has a debatable, and that's where, but it's not clear cut. It's not like everybody says about Good Kid, Mad City. Everybody doesn't. That's the one Kendrick classic, and everybody, y'all can go argue about the rest. But we know for clear cut, that's a classic. Not everybody says Take Care, so that one did hit hard for me. That one landed.
That hit hard. Because think about it, if you so successful like Drake, you release all these projects, all these albums over these years, and you got Kendrick saying, yeah, that's all cool, and I like you better when you making songs to make us dance. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't got no classic album though.
Right. But there's two different. Tony, for me, it's like they're two different type of shooters. Drake is a volume shooter. In his heyday, in his prime, I would say, maybe Kendrick is like Kawhi. He's going to be very efficient. He's going to, make his shots. He's going to be very deliberate about his approach, but you ain't going to get no filler. You know what I mean? It's up to us to pick and choose what we like about that. And the true artists, apparently, from what Kendrick is saying, they don't rock with that shit. And that's been the sentiment for years for Drake. So I like that he's driving that point home early in the game, because it leaves us to catch the shock and awe from when the real diss records come. Because like you said, I just still don't think these are the definitive diss records they're going to go out on or be remembered for in this clash.
Right. I agree. I do agree. But yeah, those are the things, man, that stood out to me, man. And I felt like it was very calculated. I think that some people are overlooking, like, you need to read this song on paper. I mean, he said a lot of things about Drake. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't have to yell at it for 5 or 6 minutes. He didn't have to. Now, he did throw the shots as far as saying, yeah, he can go wherever he wanted to go. I think he's just playing with words with all that stuff like that, of course.
Yeah, I don't think he gonna ever get violent or nothing.
Yeah, he don't mean nothing like that. And I tell people all the time, let's not look at nothing. None of this is Big and Pac or none of that stuff, because what people don't understand, I'm old enough to tell people, because I'm almost 50, is Big and Pac didn't die over hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? They didn't die over their music, man. It's much deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? Street shit got involved with Pac. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, way before it came to the raps. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And with Pac, West Coast hood gang politics got involved. All kind of stuff that people know. A big casualty of war, unfortunately, had nothing to do with the music. We have a lot of great battles that didn't go anywhere else. When Benny Siegel and Jadakiss battled, those are two street dudes. They had crews and everything. Nobody getting killed. You know what I'm saying? People just rhyming, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, some of that stuff of crews see each other. You got some knuckleheads. It could be a little bit of smoke. But no, all the people that died in hip-hop didn't die because of their rap music. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, they died because of some street shit. You know what I'm saying? So this is cool. It's fun. People should be able to appreciate this. It gives everyone some good talking points, man, and things of that nature. That's what hip hop is all about. This is from Busy Bee and Kool Moe did the Harlem World in 1981, 82. This is what we do in this culture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Big Daddy Kane, like I said to someone on the podcast months ago, Big Daddy Kane said on Beef One, 2 MCs can't be in the room saying they're the best. That's it.
Yeah.
They can't.
You're right. They're always going to compete. It doesn't matter. Like, you see it in the competitive MCs. I've seen it in the slaughterhouses. I've seen it in like various documentaries. To when that question ever comes up on who's the best, nobody is ever giving it to the other guy, no matter what they may have sold. No matter what, like if you really truly feel like you that guy as far as what your capability of as rapping and what you put on out there in the world, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, man, I love the competing. I don't take none of this shit serious. I don't think none of it is gonna be no tough guy shit or nothing like that. I just think that, the others have to just keep their composure. Like, yeah, it's cool to be overzealous and be for your camp and shit like that, but this guy's just like saying, yo, I'm better than you. There is no big three. There's a big me, and I'm standing on that. And I don't know why you motherfuckers would even think you on my level, which leads me to the next point, man. Let's who you got? I mean, are we who you got in this, just track for track? For me, I'm just gonna go off of the releases. Taylor Made was dope to me. I like Taylor Made. I enjoyed it, but I really think we can really measure this by this response to Kendrick, and then Drake's first response. You know what I'm saying? Is Kendrick 1-1? What would you rate it?
Well, I mean, right now overall, I have Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? And that's based on for me today. And I've listened to all the songs and everything like that. And again, I like Drake. You know what I'm saying? I joke about Drake sometimes, but I've also been one of the people who defended him for years on Twitter. I've released, I've typed Omerto, diplomatic community, and all the state scheme. The dude can spit. You know what I'm saying? And I always said, y'all can hate him all you want to, the dude can rap. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that he has done some response so far, made records, but I think that Kendrick, for me, the stuff he said today, when he basically saying you came to America to steal our heritage, man, when you saying something like that in the song, that alone, man, like I don't
Then
that
switching to
alone
the
puts him over the top.
accents. Yeah, man.
You know,
Yeah,
so
that I
right
think
now,
that right there was, to your point of that is just like that was really what sent it over the top. Like, meanwhile, Drake was using AI, and I'll stand on record and say, yo, I thought it was dope. I thought it was creative. It made me laugh. He leaned into the AI thing, but Kendrick used his voice and switched it. Like so many different, several different flows, different voice changes. Like that creativity is just speaking to kind of
it
what
was
Kendrick
good.
is saying.
Yeah, and I'm not really mad at what Drake did because it was creative, but the only bad part about that, and I said this the other day online as well, AI in music is very sketchy and it's going to throw music off. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I said was, outside of Benny Siegel, who lost his voice some and the great DOC, you know what I'm saying? If they needed some assistance with some AI, I wouldn't be mad because what they've done for the culture, and we know that they are monsters when they had their voices. So I wouldn't be mad about B. Siegel and the great DOC. But, Drake did it. Unfortunately, a lot of people at some point might start incorporating that shit too much into the culture, man, and throwing the music off and the originality and the authenticity of music and hip hop off. So that's the thing I'm scared about because Drake is powerful, and a lot of people got to be understand that.
I got 2 points on that that I would like to put out there. 2 points that's pivotal. I think that we all, and I'm not sure if you was on that boat, but T-Pain, I remember. Remember the death of Auto-Tune and what we
Yeah,
thought this was going to be, as if T-Pain was the first person to ever use Auto-Tune. Like we heard it way back in the 80s, 70s, 60s even,
yeah,
to a certain extent of that Auto-Tune effect. And we thought, oh, this is bad for music. Got people out here, R&B artists, they can't really sing. But somehow, some way, the talent level kind of rose to the top. And, while
that's
Auto-Tune
true.
is still running rampant, I remember people kind of getting in that bag about Auto-Tune, and they end up loving T-Pain all these years later, and everybody uses Auto-Tune like it's nobody's business today. So it's kind of fine. It didn't really ruin anything. You know what I mean? And my second point on AI is that, I just been reading, and I'm kind of a nerd, so I follow a few hip hop lawyers and shit like that, and they really said this shit is so new that it's not even in contracts yet for negotiations for people that are being signed. You know what I mean? They don't even know how to put that language out there. So
Right.
it's just kind of one of those things where I had to educate myself. Oh, we might need to pump the brakes, because if the industry hasn't figured out a way to truly make money on it, then it's really not necessarily a problem right now. Now,
Yeah, yeah.
artistically, I
No,
get what you're saying, but for us to jump off the deep end, they're not even there in their music industry in terms of where this is going. So I just, all of the fear mongers and shit like that, I just be like, man, just, if you care to
no,
educate yourself in it. But I don't,
no,
overall,
yeah.
artistically, I don't rock with it. I'm on the same page.
No, but you make a good point. You know what I'm saying? Like so definitely that. Like at the end of the day, talent rise, the cream of the crop will rise. You know what I'm saying? So no, don't get me wrong. AI is not gonna take over hip hop, you know what I'm saying, or R&B or soul or anything like that, because at the end of the day, the great artists, the great talent at some point would move it out the way. Even if a few hits happen as a result of AI, the authentic talent will move it out the way. You know what I'm saying? So that is true. Now the legal part and financial part of it, record companies and stuff, it's so new. No, there's no rhyme or reason right now how you even incorporate that, like you said, into so any kind of legality and money and stuff like that. So, and then if you're using certain people's voices, how that look with their estate and stuff like that. There's a lot of different nuances that that at some point will be addressed. in music and AI and stuff like that anyway. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause artificial intelligence overall in the world, this is evolution. So it's incorporating our everyday lives in some capacity, regardless now.
Right.
And it's been like this for a long time. Automatic, when you call them places and you getting some automatic system, that's basically AI right there. You ain't talking to a real person. You're talking to a recording like a damn robot. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. We going through it whether you believe it or not, and it's been in
but
music for years. If you are, a musician in any sort of
yeah,
way, like it's already incorporated itself, and sometimes for the better. So, I think really it's just the voice thing that throws people off, and I understand it.
yeah, it's kind of like the when people used to have those a couple of times people had those images on stage, man. You know what I'm saying? People didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? They had the what do you call that joint when they had
Yeah, it's
Tupac
just
and a
the
couple of
holograms,
holograms and stuff like that. I mean, I think that threw some people off. It made people uncomfortable, like, you gotta let certain people let their spirit rest in peace kind of thing. So it messed with certain people who look at life a different way, or spirituality a different way, and energy and science and all. I mean, so you got a lot of different thinkers who have different perspectives on something that's not natural, I would say. You know what I mean? But I'm not taking any points from Drake from that. Like, no, it still was creative in that regard. Snoop Dogg actually, I think, was playing it on IG. He didn't say anything, but I think he played it, which made people think like, you know what, Snoop okay with it. You know what I'm saying? So he ain't tripping, you know what I mean? So Drake get points for that, man. I mean, again, at least he took the time to say, I'm gonna respond back to people and I'm gonna keep this hip hop thing alive by having some smoke. So
yeah.
I ain't mad. I just think they right now Kendrick is up. I believe that both of them at least have one more song in them. I like to see what Drake does, because Drake might come out with a very hard song with a dope beat, you know what I'm saying, and really put his foot in, and that would definitely start trending immediately. It would be big for hip hop if he comes real strong with a song over the next couple of days or weeks or whatever. And I hope he does that, because after that they'll put the pressure back on Kendrick to release what he might have already or what he's working on. And I think those will be the next two songs that people will remember for the battle, the same way people remember Back to Back for Drake, or
Yeah, it
Control for
has to.
Verse.
It has to be that, so like kind of moving forward, and we can dive back into the lyrics in Kendrick's response, but just kind of moving forward, I don't know if kind of this approach that Drake has taken so far, he could afford to continue on the diss track now that we're all locked in. I
You
don't
got to come all the
know.
way in
Yeah,
now.
I'm not sure if he could do back to back again. I'm not sure. Like, that's a lot of pressure to put a party type record out. That's a diss track. You know what I'm saying? If he
Oh, I don't mean a
recreates that,
party type.
you think it's gonna be a party type vibe or something like
No, no,
that?
no, no, no. I don't. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be a party type song. I know what you mean, because a hit can be a hit and miss. You know what I'm saying? So you can strive for a hit and take an L. No, I actually think it's gonna be more of the Duppy or Diplomatic Immunity or Myrtle type of flow. 6 a.m. into, is it 7 a.m. in Toronto, 6 a.m. in Toronto or Dallas or whatever. I think he's gonna go back to that type of Drake, just spitting bars, stay scheming type Drake. I think that's what's coming. You know what I'm saying? And that will be the song and the vibe that we remember from this battle on Drake's side. And I think we're gonna remember this song from Kendrick, but I think that this will be the real one as well. So just being this microwave society, people think that, you know what I'm saying, like, that people not gonna record, they're not gonna drop nothing. Like, give them time. You know what I'm saying? Creativity takes some thinking. Unless you're gonna
Right,
do like Jay-Z did and run to the studio and do Super Ugly, and then you got to come back on the Blueprint too and clean the shit up, because
right,
Super Ugly might have had some ill lines, but you rushed the shit, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? So you had to take some time and drop the Blueprint 2 diss track, and people talking, and so people say, okay, now Jay back in his bag, and then Nas come out with Last Real Nigga Alive and kind of dead the shit. So you got to be strategic in battle.
right. And like I said, man, I'm interested to see what type of vibe Drake comes back from. Right now, it just
Me
seems
too.
like he got time. He got time to rap, and I feel like you said, man, these guys have been strategic as hell this whole way through. So there's no reason to believe that songs and ideas have not already even are probably on record, etched out. It just needs to now they just need to tighten up based on now that he has Kendrick's information. But I do agree, or I do feel rather, that these next two, I don't want this to continue to go on and on. Like we got to have the definitive song at some point. We can't enough with this is just a jab. This is just a jab. I'm over it at this point, Tony. I need the real thing.
Yep.
I need the real thing so they could dead this and get back to now each one of them drop an album if they ready to drop an album, or Cole comes. Unfortunately, I'm gonna leave Cole out of this. He don't deserve to be talked about right now. What I'm trying to say is I just want this one to be just a dope final ending of the chapter, and not for them. If they keep taking shots, cool, on the album, but it needs to be a definitive track on both sides, man. I don't want to hear the light jabs no more.
Yeah, it's time. It's time for both of them now. It's the 12th round of the boxing match. Let's go. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? You can't let the judge decide. Somebody got to throw a knockout blow. You know what I'm saying? So it's time for, like I said, Drake to drop his definitive song. It's time for Kendrick to drop his definitive song, and now let the people decide. You know what I'm saying? No more jabs. And I really think that today, you know, with Kendrick, it was very direct. You know what I'm saying? He got more in his bag though, but it was pretty damn direct, everything he was saying. But I think they both have one more and they can move on. I will say this. Hip hop should applaud Drake and Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna talk about that some over the next few days, man, because again, they could have avoided this. They didn't have to do this. And they gave the fans some music and something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to critique some. People going to have their think pieces and whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, hip-hop should show them love. You know what I'm saying? Because these guys in their prime still releasing music. They'll both probably have an album this year out. They throwing shots. They're going to probably both have another diss song. What else do y'all want these guys to do after they drop their next songs that I believe they're going to do? They did this for hip-hop, man. They got pride. Great MCs and great artists have pride. They can't just sit back and let shit slide. You know what I'm saying? Anybody thought I heard people saying before today, man, Kendrick gonna ignore it. He's not gonna respond. Man, I told everybody, dude, it's coming. He's an MC before anything else. The kid from Compton, K-Dot. I was listening to him way back then. Like I said, when your show opened up, I knew he was coming. And he's going to come again. And Drake is going to come one more time because Drake loves hip-hop. Like him or not, call him corny, call him whack, call him a culture vulture, whatever you want to call him. Drake does love hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? And he will come back with another song.
Yeah. I'm like I said, I'm eager to hear about it. This track was really, really dope. Had to listen to it a few times to just catch a lot of the lines. You know, him taking on Drake's ghostwriters and flipping the 20v1 line that Drake said the other week, and Taylor made and shit like that. So I like the cleverness of that, just really, you know, attacking his ghostwriters, attacking, you know, him not being of the culture. You know what I mean? I like that angle. You know, I like him breaking him down as a father. You know, again, a lot of character assassination in here, man. Yo,
Cash, that part, man. Yo,
go ahead.
That part right there, when you think about that part, when he was basically saying how I'm raising my son the way you're not raising your son, it gave you that Pusha T vibe, man. Like,
just another layer, another layer to the type of character they believe him to be.
Man, like, yo, he's saying, I'm a good father, you not. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I mean, like I said, man, it's a dirty game, my G. You know what I'm saying? Right. Kendrick is about that smoke.
Yeah, man. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it, man. I love the jabs. I love the the attention whore angle that he went at, that Drake is in regards to hopping in pictures with Sexy Red, and when he see them together, he see two bitches. You know, so for the people that say it wasn't enough, or he was too light on them, you know what I mean? I just think he was talking to him like, what else could you call a man that's worse than a bitch? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what more people want.
So, hey, Cash, so look at this. He calls the man basically a bitch. He said they're gonna be basically shaking his ass. He said he a bad fucking father. He said he a culture vulture. He said a culture vulture. He said he got ghostwriters, and I'll battle you and your ghostwriters. I mean, dog, what, dude? Real talk. I mean, he was
Yeah, I'm not
throwing
sure.
some darts at him, man.
I'm not sure, man. Both of these guys had some serious talk on their lap. You know, what I will take away from both these disses, or just all the disses in general, they were funny. They were witty. They did have their moments where guys didn't take this so serious that they couldn't joke on something as
Yeah,
stupid, like a schoolyard joke like that we all got about
yeah,
being short at some point, or dude wearing a size 7.
yeah,
Like those are all jokes
yeah,
that we all been joning, or whatever you want to call it, wherever you from. Uh
yeah.
that's all, that's all fun and games, and that's all fair to have fun with it too, man. So like you said earlier, your point was, yo, we need to be appreciative of this and just have fun with it and not be so
Yeah,
analytical. And that's the reason why I'm not reading off bar for bar and all that
right.
stuff. You know what I mean? I'm kind of just saying like, man, this is dope, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm enjoying the ride, man. You know what I'm saying? For any hip hop fan, and and I'll say this too. What I noticed today was a lot of people want to keep referencing back shit from 30 years ago, man. Look, evolution in music is what it is. Matter of fact, I don't want these guys to make a record to remind me of nothing I heard in high school and college. I don't need that. I want the creativity. Let them be the artists that they are. Kendrick Lamar sounded like Kendrick Lamar today. That sounded like something from, it sounded like Duckworth to me. That sounded like joints that I would expect him to rhyme. Kendrick was just being creative, man, at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And I have no complaints, bro. You know what I'm saying, with what he did, man. I know I was making a lot of different points just now, but one thing I do want to revisit is Kendrick sound like Kendrick's. One thing that I was saying a few minutes ago. The way he rap. I don't need him to rap like, oh, he made a version of the bitch in you, like sound like Common, or sounded
Right.
like
Or no
some other
Vaseline. Like there was real.
Vaseline,
There's real. I think there's real disrespect and dislike here, but I'm not sure if it's no Vaseline type stuff. So like you said earlier, like people wanted to go way disrespectful. Like sometimes it's just not that
but
much history there for that.
yeah, yeah, no doubt. But my thing, I want him to rap the way he raps, and that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? All those little nuances, the way he sing a little bit, rhymed a little bit, voice playing around the way his delivery and stuff like that. That's the way he rap. You know what I'm saying? So he stayed authentic to me. He wasn't
Yeah.
trying too hard. He wasn't trying to
Right.
be extra. He wasn't trying to do no. He was giving you the way he performs. You know what I'm saying? So I think again that's to be applauded, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't enjoy as fans, you can't enjoy the present if you always harping on what used to be. The songs used to sound like this, or this is the way this records were, and mixtapes and this and that and third. And well, look, man, it's a different time. I mean, yeah, 20 years ago, Rockefeller went up to the radio station and had like 10 niggas rapping over top of Mobb Deep beats and everything. This ain't then.
You read my mind. You read my mind in terms of seeing it on camera and stuff like that. I need to see them perform this. Like live. Like I need one of their next shows. I need them to pop out. I need some video footage. I need them to do that, man. And take this, because I don't think we've ever seen a lot of our favorite disc records ever get that type of treatment. You know what I'm saying? They disc records, they on the track, and it kind of lives there. There's no real visuals. Like I mean, I would love for them to take it to that next level and do it like that, and just really kind of display what they're feeling, you know what I mean, in terms of a visual. I would love that, whether it's on stage, them doing it and the whole crowd singing behind them, or whatever the case may be. I would love to see that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's part of it too.
Yeah, showmanship is definitely a part of balance. You know what I'm saying? Like not only just records, but the way, like you said, the way you perform it, deliver it. You know what I'm saying? The way that people accept it, and if you have the right hook or something like that, then of course the fans can be involved. And maybe one or two, maybe one of them will do that this next song. But me personally though, I do want each next song to be kind of bar heavy in terms of go ahead and give it all you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and just swing for the fences, man. I hope both cats just go ahead and swing for the fences, man. If it end up being a song that people can enjoy on stage, then great. If not, it is what it is. But just swing for the fences. But yeah, and again, so some of the older songs back in the day, they did perform, and crowd participation and stuff. I mean, people even perform. KRS performed "The Bridge Is Over." Nas performed "Ether" at some shows back then until him and Jay got cool again. So it'd be good. It don't even have to have a hook. You know what I'm saying? If the song is dope enough, people in the crowd are vibe to it.
Right, man. So I wanted to end it off so we're clear. I know we did a lot of talking. We went a lot of different places. It's late night. I'm sure this will get more deep dived as we get into more nuances of the song down the line. Maybe we talk about it a little more. Maybe by the time you hear us again, we got to come back together again because Drake has responded. We know he has his pen is ready and he's been responding rather quickly, egging, Kendrick to come on and come out with it. So I think it's on him, you know what I mean? But definitively, right now, if I'm looking at it holistically, you got the Like That verse. We got the now we have Kendrick's response here in Euphoria. I'll open it up and just be super clear now that I've had time to think about it. Like you got those two songs, and then you got Drake's two efforts. I'm gonna say, man, on impact and just pure enjoyment, I gotta have Kendrick up in this, man. He For me, I went back and listened to all of the disses today, went back and forth ever since I hit you up, just so I can be fair and accurate. I stand on Kendrick, man. I just think I enjoyed those two songs more, man. It was a more of a, wow factor for me for just where he was going with it. And Drake is very close second. They're neck and neck, man. It's a very close second. It's not like it's by a landslide. And that's saying a lot for how battle tested Drake is, in my opinion. So that's where I stand on it as of right now.
Yeah, man, I feel the same way. I listen to all the songs again, and I try to tell people, if you don't do the knowledge, then shut the hell up talking to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I always do the knowledge. I don't just type to be typing. I don't just record to be recording. You know what I'm saying? Most time, facts check me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I'm doing. But at the end of the day, I appreciate both of these guys. Kendrick is up to me. The stuff he said today in that Euphoria to me was some nice darts. And but I'm eager to see what happens next, man. And again, for anyone who's going to hear this episode, I like both of these guys. I know a lot of people don't like
same here.
Drake,
same here. Same here.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like both guys, and I know a lot of people don't like for whatever reason. He ain't just popular for nothing. Somebody of them. And Kendrick, I found out today, I really seen today, a lot of people don't like Kendrick for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? I think some of that is, some of it's some jealousy, I feel like, or it's just some overanalyzing Kendrick, or, Kendrick has, he's surpassed some greats. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So that bothers them, I feel.
Yeah, I think it's the crowd that really didn't appreciate Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I personally didn't go back to that album a whole lot either. You know what I mean? I'm not acting like I like the album. I know it's a very strong album, but it's just like T-Pab. It's just, I'm not in the mood for that on most days. Now, if I'm on a car trip, plane ride, I'm gonna rock with it, and then I'm gonna give it its just due because they're incredible bodies of work, but it's just not something I'm gonna come to often.
No,
but that don't make it bad. But I think that's the crowd that really is flipping on him a little bit at this point. You know what I mean?
But you know what? And I'll say this real quick about Kendrick. So the Mr. Morale was his own therapy session. It was very clear what he was wanting to express himself a different way as an artist. You know what I'm saying? The reason why Andre did the Love Below. You know what I'm saying? That there's certain people that just want to get some stuff off their chest. You know what I'm saying? So if he gives you Section 80 and Good Kid, Mad City, which is like a storytelling album, gangster, Compton stories and stuff like that, and socially conscious, Pimp a Butterfly, all the stuff he did on Damn was incredible or whatever. So then Mr. Morale is his, like Marvin Gaye's Here My Dear. This is not Let It On saying what's going on. This ain't some of them other joints. This ain't I Want You. You know what I'm saying? This is Here My Dear, about my divorce, about stuff I've gone through in my personal life.
My infidelity, my all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Infidelity, personal demons. Kendrick talked about his life, his personal demons, his family, everything on Mr. Morale. So that was something personal for him. If that ain't your taste, I didn't go back to it a lot. I thought N95 was dope. And that last song, Mirror, is just an amazing self-reflecting song. You know what I'm saying? So those are the two I go back to on the album. But he gave you everything else as an artist. So a lot of people don't rock with it. That's cool. That doesn't take away from that discography that has now put him in a space with all the legends of the 80s and 90s. And I think it's like LeBron or Steph Curry. Some people don't like these guys, or it's like, oh, you're starting to compare Steph Curry to Larry Bird. You're comparing LeBron to Michael Jordan. And people don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So Kendrick catches some of that as well. Same with Drake. Drake is so successful. It's like Jay-Z at some point. He's like, most kings get their head cut off. That's what Jay said on that freestyle.
Yeah.
And he said in the interview, most kings get their head cut off. And so he said at a certain point, people have a weird feelings towards success, right?
Yeah.
So so Drake is so successful, whether you like him or not, he's going to catch strays because of his success as well.
Right. And I think Nas, it's not Nas and Jay on that. It's Black Republican, but like Jay did have like a little snippet on American Gangster when, what you're gonna do with success. When success take a shot. You remember, that little blurb before the song.
American Gangster, the movie.
Right.
That was the movie.
From
That's
the
when
movie.
Your boy was talking to Denzel outside his backyard.
Right. So it's gonna come. The time is coming. It's just when and how do you handle it, and do you come out of it on top? We see when two other guys was at top, Meek, for whatever reason, ran his mouth, and just the circumstances didn't lead to him ultimately getting back to that stature that he was at, because he was ascending to be in this group, kind of, sort of. You know what I mean? He was competing at the time.
He was almost there. He had the hype. He had his own crew. He had the mixtapes. He had that Dreams and Nightmares joint that people really love. You know what I'm saying? So he was on that trajectory. But what's funny is right now, Drake and Kendrick, it pushed everybody else out the way. Even when Rick Ross, as big as he is, he's pushed out the way. J. Cole kind of bowed out, but now people don't even care about what he's talking about anymore. Nobody else matters right now. And that's the great thing about hip-hop, because what we're seeing right now is nothing new, people. You know what I'm saying? Kool Moe D did this with L. Cool J. MC Shan did this with Karen. Biggie, Pac, Jay-Z, Nas, Siegel, you know what I'm saying, Jay the Kids.
LL and Drake are a lot of parallels between the two in terms of who took shots at them, because the pretty boy image, the clean guy image, you make songs for the radio and not really for the culture. And, of course, LL had to prove that.
Was a monster.
Right. LL had to prove that time and time again, but LL is of the culture. There's never no ghostwriting things, allegations or nothing like that. The cardinal sin. And I think that's it. Like Drake got a lot of cardinal sins against him in terms of just when you talk that talk in our ilk. Like, you don't apologize. With Cole, you don't get ghostwriters if you rap and say you the best at it. The R&B side, I'm willing to, all right, cool, when you do the melodic shit. But the rapper, the pen shit, where your pen gotta be nice, that's a no-go.
I really wish I knew how much writing Drake actually got help on. And the reason why I say it is because I remember when he was doing one of his mixtapes, and the guy Q, him and the guy co-wrote several songs on a mixtape together. I don't recall, and this also Pusha T took that to another level with the disses, but Drake came into hip hop as a writer. He was writing for R&B cats. He was writing for Jamie Foxx and other people. You know what I'm saying? So Drake is a writer, and I think his biggest hits he probably wrote all on, but because
he just takes help from other people. He just takes help no matter what. Like, he's all for I think Kanye is like that too, right? For the betterment of the song. Like, it's well known, but Kanye came in doing that. He's never bragged about being the best rapper ever. He's just bragged about being, the best musician, so to speak, and stuff like that. But like, Drake has bragged about being the best rapper. And I think that's a lot of people's point of contention.
I think.
Yeah.
But he writes too. Everybody know that. You know what I'm saying? How much
I don't believe them timestamp records are not him. Like, if you now, I think somebody has said this on a podcast I was watching. That if you tell me them timestamp records are not Drake, I'm gonna be upset. You know what I mean? Because those I mean, I have a literal playlist from timestamps and location shit that he's done. That's some of his best
And them joints are
rapping.
dope.
Was that?
Them joints are dope.
Yeah,
them joints are dope.
man.
And you know what? You know what would be dope though? What I like to see, Drake next song, this song, if it's gonna be the final one for his part of the battle, it should be a timestamp song. It should be some shit like 11 a.m. in Compton. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it gotta be.
Like, yo,
man, that's y'all
think
heard it
about
here
that.
first. That's the first take. That's the first take I've heard to say that, but that would be awesome. You know what I mean? Like you leaving it all on the table with that record. It's not a commercial record. I'm talking to this dude, and then it could get real spooky.
I heard it first on Cash Show. 11 a.m. in Compton, my nigga. That's what it need to be. Some shit like a timestamp song. We gotta talk about that again at some point, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I like to see, a timestamp song from Drake and from Kendrick. Man, I wouldn't mind hearing him over the damn Dr. Dre beat, man.
And you know he possibly has one in the stash with as much people that have wanted to work with him over the years. So that would be crazy because he did smoke. He did, even though it was in another voice. You know what I mean? And then eventually it got to his voice on Taylor Made. But when that Dre sounding beat came on, man, I wasn't mad at it. Bro. You know what I'm saying? At all.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's why I say it's a lot closer than people believe. You know what I mean? With the wittiness and just like kind of, but what I appreciate more, like I said, is Kendrick. And, you know, the last point of it all, you know, I kind of wanted to say that you made me think about earlier was just like, you know, everybody's favorite albums don't got to be each other's favorite albums when we talking about how much, you know, Mr. Morale and Big Stepper and T-Pab are just like kind of like, there's some of those albums that just people just like, they're on polar opposite ends of the spectrum. You know, those are two albums, but you know, but you like what you like in the artist discography that you like. Either you rocking with that artist and you're gonna be with them the whole way, or you just gonna, you know, or even with you, Tony, like one of my favorite artists, Nas, for example, Life is Good is my favorite Nas album. I've heard them all. I've heard Godson. That's my favorite album. I was going through what he was going through, similar things. That's what makes the time and when you was listening to it, where you was, that what makes and shapes how you feel about an album. And it's all right to say that. Like, it's your opinion, you know, out here. But I think everybody with the social media shit and so much, it gets to the point where, you know, people can't even explain themselves when they say why they don't like it. I just be wanting to know the why in an intelligent way. And then I'll respect your point of view. But if it's ignorant and like you ain't do your research, then you just become one of the other casualties that you just got to ignore. You know what I mean? But take us out with your final take, Tony, man. I know I got you. I know it's late here, man, and we podding late, and we both had things to do, man. But I don't want to take up too much of your time. You know, something tells me that we're gonna have more of this to come, so we ain't got to cover everything. But what's your final take and your final wrap up on Euphoria and moving forward?
First thing, good brother, man. We definitely gonna do this again, man. I know we've been communicating recently, trying to get this together, man. But life and time and scheduling and stuff like that, you know, it's life shit. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna definitely collab some more, man. But as far as this, man, hip hop wins, man. Anytime someone releases music, we win. You know what I'm saying? Some people gonna like the music, some people are not gonna like the music, but we get music nevertheless. And that's what I think people don't understand. Some of these artists are in the great places in their personal lives. They don't have to record. You know what I'm saying? If Kendrick and Drake don't want to drop anything else for the next 3 years, they don't have to. Life has been good to them in terms of their profession. You know what I'm saying? But we as fans win because they are releasing music. You know what I'm saying? They are being competitive, which hip hop started with Run DMC said suck MCs. They was calling people suck MCs in '85. You know what I'm saying? None of this is new. You know what I'm saying? Kumo D shut down Busy B when Busy B said, I'm the best rapper in this room tonight. And Kumo D was like, what room, nigga? You know what I'm saying? I'm the best. You know what I'm saying? So this is for the culture. You know what I'm saying? And so, look, we all anticipating something else. We all waiting for some more shock value, some more big records and more direct. And man, we have to just wait and see, man. I feel good about it all, man. You know what I'm saying? Crooked Eye asked the question.
I'm content too, Tony. I'm content right now. I'm content. Everybody has responded
Yeah,
now.
people got
Take
mad at
your
my
time.
response.
Take your time, craft what masterful response that needs to be the final response.
Absolutely.
And everybody go to their corners and let the people decide, man. You know, no antics. Make y'all records and stand on that, you know, and the people will decide.
Facts, man. So let's let this thing bubble, man, and let's make sure we collab again soon, brother.
Facts. All right, man. So as Tony, go check him out. All his information will be in the comment section, or the notes section, wherever. If you're listening on audio, if you're watching on video, if you like kind of just some of the talk we talked about, Tony is on it all the time, as far as every day on Twitter. So if you're a Twitter head, man, you get different type of takes that you agree with and don't agree with, but you're gonna get some takes at the end of the day, and it's good engagement and it's good musical talk. And definitely go to his website. I'll get that information from him so you guys can follow his website and see other things that he talks about in depth outside of X, because all of these discussions on X are nuanced, and that's why I like to bring people like Tony and other people on, because albums I feel are nuanced and these discussions are nuanced. So I can't fill that up in a few characters. I'm not witty enough, but this is my wheelhouse, man. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this. Tony, again, thanks for connecting, man. Y'all check him out on all his platforms, man, and we out.
Salute, player.
Yeah. Good one, man. Good one.
Yeah, man.
Good
Absolutely,
convo.
man.